Hey yo, it's Talib Kweli chilling with Kevin W. Reese, your favorite white boy. This is how we do.
Kevin W. Reese.
All right, man, we're here with the BKMC and off to Jump Street. What's up with Pepsi, man?
What's up with Pepsi?
Yeah, it's a really good look right now. You're all over TV right now. Got to know how that happened.
I was all over TV for that one day, for that game, but
So there's not going to be any more?
no, that was just a one-off, one-time thing. But shout out to Drew High and the whole Cornerstone Promotions. They hooked that up for me. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good look for the Gutter Rainbows coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was a real good look. I'm like, Talib Kweli is on TV right now. You know what I mean? Like, and anyone that's followed you knows that, you know, you're a huge underground artist. So that's so huge. You know what I mean? So
I'm
really.
wearing this hat and that thing. I bought this hat that day.
Okay. There you go. Can we sell it on eBay? Can we do something?
No, not yet. You know, give me a couple months. When I might need some cash later. Then I'll put it up on eBay or something.
Now, were you disappointed when people criticized you for doing the record with Gucci?
Disappointed? No, I'm not. I wasn't disappointed. I like rising to the challenge, and you know, if you listen to that record, my verse is about what people was gonna say. But I like the challenge. You know what I'm saying?
Now, a lot of people were like, oh, okay, Kweli's trying to cross over, blah, 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 and they criticize you for it. But couldn't it be the other way around? Couldn't it be Gucci wanted to go a little more underground?
Well, I mean, Gucci asked me to get on the song.
There you go.
People approach it like I'm trying to ride somebody's coattails. I don't need to do that. I'm 15 years plus, 9 albums in. You know, I don't got a single on the radio that they playing, but my album is #1 on iTunes right now because of the fans and the connection I made. So I don't need to hop on nobody's record. I did it out of respect. I didn't do it. I don't need the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did it out of respect for what Gucci has done in the game. You know, and I do that. And I would hope that an MC that I asked to be on my mixtape wouldn't turn me down.
Right. Now, people, just staying on the topic of people criticizing you, a lot of people are saying, oh, because of Pepsi, because of the Gucci song, Kweli, now he's trying to cross over, blah, blah, blah. You just explained that. But the thing that these people aren't understanding, if you're a Kweli fan, you know that every album's got 1 or 2 records that are a little, they're radio worthy. You know what I'm saying?
God willing, I would hope that every record has 1 or 2 records that the masses can like. I'm certainly not the type of artist who makes records that always fit in the trends of the radio formats. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to think that I'm talented enough and good enough at what I do that there's 1 or 2 on my hip hop album that the masses are gonna.
There always is. That doesn't necessarily mean radio runs with it.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm heading right now, because the last album with High Tech, which, by the way, to me, top 3 of 2010. You know, you had a record on there that was very poppy. I forgot the name of it.
Midnight Hour?
Midnight Hour. Extremely poppy.
Yeah.
That record should have been on top 40, in my opinion. It was that poppy. It was that good that 12-year-old Jane in whatever suburb would have loved it if it was on the radio every hour. But why? Now, if it was Gucci, if it was Jay-Z, if it was, I don't know, whoever else you want to name, it probably would have been a hit record.
Yeah,
But why wasn't it? Because was it because it's Talib Kweli?
I mean, I think it's twofold. I think Warner Brothers didn't put any effort into promoting my singles or anything like that. But I also think that, you know, a lot of these DJs got their minds made up of what type of artist I am. So for a lot of them, it don't matter what record I'm.
Stereotype.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, okay, that's that Talib Kweli. And even if I do something that sounds like it could work for their format, it might not hit their ear right. You know what I'm saying? It might still not work for them personally. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great answer. That's always bothered me. Here's another thing that bothers me. You had a song on the High Tech album also, Texas T. Black Gold, yeah. Incredible song, incredibly put together. The verses are very conscious and they touch on issues. The hook is outstanding. The beat was outstanding. As far as I'm concerned, being a radio guy for 13 years, that's a hit record. It's a hit record. But why is it not a hit record? Is it because of the subject?
I mean, there's so many factors that you can't really pinpoint it to one thing. But yes, I mean, I would say that the subject matter is a hindrance to a record like that. That radio programmers and DJs and even fans, these young people, this 15 to 35-year-old young women audience that they're trying to reach, ain't trying to hear all that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a very special kind of person to be able to hear a record like that and still groove with it. It takes a very special type of artist to make a record like that and you not feel like you're being beat in the head. So that's what I attempted to do. I'm glad you like it. Some people may not feel that way though. You know what I'm saying?
Does it rock at shows?
Yeah, man. I haven't performed it in a couple months because I was actually performing it a lot. But it was one of the highlights of my show. Okay. Yeah.
New album, Gutter Rainbows. How come digital? How come it's just digital?
Well, a lot of reasons. The CD format is dead. It costs way more to manufacture a CD than, in a lot of cases, than it's worth it, because people aren't buying these CDs. Period. Point blank. So I have an album coming out called Prisoner of Conscience on Blacksmith EMI. I want to make sure that gets a great retail look. Gutter Rainbows was always designed to be a smaller situation. So when the retailers look at your last sales, they look at the sales of your last record. I wanted them to look at Eardrum, which is my last record that really had a lot of marketing dollars put into it. So we skipped the U.S. for physical copies of Gutter Rainbows, but you can order it on Amazon right now or fatbeats.com, get an import.
You think that's where the industry is going? You think it's going back to the independents and it's going to filter through iTunes and little labels like E1 or EMI?
I mean, for me, that's what it is. For me, it's about control and getting the music directly to the people. And, like for instance, like Reflection Eternal came out last year, had 20 times the money put into it that Gutter Rainbows did, right? But Reflection Eternal never cracked the top 10 on iTunes. And I think it's because of the work that's being put in on the independent, on the indie level.
Okay. Moving gears a little bit. What artists have you collabed with that you walked out of that studio and you're like, damn, I can't believe I just collabed with that artist? I have a feeling I know who you're going to say, but I just want to hear from you.
Oh, I mean, there's so many, though. I mean, who would you say?
I was going to say KRS.
Yes, KRS is somebody who, when we collabed, it was like on the mic, like it was two mics in a room. We went back and forth on the mic, writing the verses in the booth. So that was definitely a great situation.
That's a dope visual, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you bigged them up really big on the Sweet Memories song.
Yeah, KRS is the truth and an architect of my style.
And the one question I have to ask you that I just wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you is, when can we expect another Black Star collaboration album with Most?
Who knows? Whenever
That's always the answer too.
Whenever we get around to making it. Yeah.
I gotta ask every time, man. I don't care if I interview you 3 times a year. I gotta ask every time. And my last question is: you were just talking to my man Kid Fresh in there, right? And you guys were talking about your name, and you were talking about how it was you said your family calls you Talib.
Yeah. Well, they do. Yeah.
Okay. And then in Muslim is Talib. Yeah. Okay. When you decided to be a rapper professionally, did you say to yourself, wow, if I run with my name, people are going to mess it up? Maybe that's not going to be marketable? Like, did that cross your mind, or you just ran with it?
Yeah, I mean, I had a rap name before that. Genesis or something like that was my rap name. But my parents gave me such a beautiful, interesting name that at some point, way before I became a professional MC, I decided that I would honor that. I decided that the effort that they put into creating this name for me was good enough for my MC name.
And I just thought of a really good question off the top of my head that I got to go. What would be the most interesting rap battle you could think of on Wax between 2 MCs? Who would the MCs be?
Well, I don't know about battle on Wax, but most interesting rap battle? Jean Grey versus Pharoah Monch.
That's interesting. Okay. All right. Who got it? You going with your team?
That's too tough. They both on my team, so that's too tough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word. I appreciate the time, man.
Kevin W. REESE.